and I did it. I did it. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a vision. I didn't have anything, but I put down a security deposit, and that was all she wrote.
All right, welcome family. It's Stacy Spa here at the Positive Spa, and here we have our first guest. Yay! This is Jess here, who owns a barbell fitness club. What is the name of it?
TFC Barbell Club.
Awesome. And we are going to be talking to her today all about her business, ask questions about struggles, and at the end, she's going to give you 3 amazing tips. I think they're really good. You're going to think they're really good. At the end of this video, just stay tuned and we're going to start the interview now. The most important question I have for you, all right?
Okay.
Okay. Does sugar or butter go on grits?
Oh, shit. Oh, I don't know if I can cuss.
I have to bleep.
I've never put sugar on grits, but I do put butter.
Thank you.
I've never done that before.
Heard. Thank you. I just, it's very important, okay?
Okay.
And if you had any superpower in the entire world, what would it be and why?
It would be, I'm gonna get it mixed up. Telekinesis, is that the one where you can hear people's thoughts? Or is that telepathy?
So. I don't know. We'll figure it out, and I'll insert what the word is up here because
Okay.
I'll just superimpose that. And
Okay.
if we're wrong, we're wrong. Whatever.
Whatever.
What's your favorite color?
Black.
Black.
Mm-hmm.
Good color. And I already know the answer to this, but I just think it's funny. So I'm going to ask you, what is your favorite brand?
Under Armour.
100%.
If you know me, you know that.
Like Under Armour, get her. All right. And then what would be your dream vacation?
Oh, my dream vacation would honestly be anywhere that's Caribbean. Anywhere where there's sun and beach and sand. Doesn't matter where it is.
Okay. And so who would you say has been the most influential to like your success and like where you are?
My wife for sure. I know most people would probably say their mom or their dad, and if she sees this, mom, you are included, but my wife, most importantly, yeah, for sure.
Okay. And then, which we'll see if the answer changes. Who is your biggest supporter?
Man, that's tough. I mean, my wife too, but my mom too, though, right? Right? I mean, I would probably say that biggest foundation is probably our moms. Our moms are like rock solid, 100% always down for us, no matter what. Like, even if my marriage doesn't last, my mom will still be there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So now I'm going to get more into the questions about surrounding your barbell club. And that is the proper term for it, correct?
Barbell club. Yep. Barbell
club. All right. What made you want to open a barbell club?
Well, I always wanted to open up a fitness gym or fitness center. I've always had an ambition to kind of do that ever since I was pretty much in high school. Not really with the mindset of, this will make me $1 million one day, but really what can I do for the community as it relates to women and fitness enthusiasts, but then also how can I expand something that makes me comfortable to where I can do what I want and be who I want and not have to have any inhibitions about it. And so I knew it would be a gym. I didn't necessarily know that it would be a barbell club. That was just me playing with names, and I just kind of landed on that. But it's always been a lifelong dream.
Gotcha. Now, what were your initial feelings about doing it? Like, were you just like, I'm going to do it and I get up tomorrow, I like sign the paperwork, or like, were there starts, were there stops? Like, tell me, how did you get here?
Absolutely. So the gym part, the brick and mortar part of my business was definitely impulsive. I did not have a plan. I did not write it down. I did not have a blueprint. It's something that I literally saw. So this is how it happened. Um, um, I have a friend who owns a CrossFit gym, and he rents out like a 12,000 square foot facility, and he was renting out a space within this facility, and he put it on Instagram. And my wife sent it to me, and she said, "Hey, check this out." And it's right around the corner from where I live. And
Aw.
I pretty much said, "Why are you sending this to me? I can't do this. I can't afford this. Why are you sending this to me?" But when she sent it to me, I kept thinking about it, right? Like it stayed in the back of my mind. And I was with my sister one day. My sister's a massage therapist. She was giving me a massage. And I just kept thinking about this space. And I talked to my sister about it. And I just said, "What if I did it?" And she said, "What if you did it? Just do it." And I talked to my mom, and my mom said, "Just do it." And I'm like, "But I don't have a plan. I don't know if I have the money. I don't know what that looks like." And she said, "You'll figure out all that later. Just secure the space." Um, and so I reached out to him like the next day. We toured the facility, and he really liked me. He liked my brand. He liked what I was about. We actually went to UNCC together, so we knew each other. And he said, "I would really like you for this space, so let me know, because it's first come, first serve. Once it's gone, it's gone." And he reached out to me, I think like 3 days later, and he said, "Hey, I have somebody that's interested, but I would really like you here. What are your thoughts?" And again, my mom said, "Do it." She said, "Just do it. Don't think about it. Just do it." And I did it. I did it. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a vision. I didn't have anything, but I put down a security deposit, and that was all she wrote.
Got you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Dang. And are you intimidated at all about big box gyms? And like, how are you making yourself stand out? How are you making yourself special?
I've never been intimidated by big box gyms. For the most part, I've never really been intimidated by anything or anyone. That's just kind of always been my personality. And you and I can speak to that, right? We know each other pretty well. But yeah, I would work out in big box gyms all the time. I mean, Fitness Connection, Planet Fitness, Lifetime Fitness. You got to get your workout in. I don't care who's around. I got to do what I got to do. But how I stand out in this market, because it's such a saturated market, right? Was by actually choosing the name Barbell Club. So Barbell Clubs, it's a thing. A lot of people don't really know that, but it actually is its own organization. And it's very scarce in North Carolina. There are a lot of barbell clubs in Florida. There are a lot of barbell clubs in California. There are a couple in New York. But for where we are, it's not something that you hear a lot. You hear of fitness centers, you hear of CrossFit gyms, you hear of athletic centers, but you don't really hear of barbell clubs. So I thought that was one piece of the pie that I could kind of like just break into that niche.
Mhm.
And then it's a barbell club, but in its essence, it's a powerlifting gym, which is, you hear powerlifters, you hear weightlifters, but you don't really see those people. They're kind of just tucked into the corner of all these big box gyms.
Mhm.
And I wanted to cater to those individuals. So with the title in itself, and then also with the mantra behind it with Barbell Club, Powerlifting Gym, that's kind of how I'm standing out.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna challenge you a little bit. All
Okay.
right. In one sentence,
Okay.
tell us about your business. One sentence. That's all you got. And I'll put like some Jeopardy music to like give you some time. When I
It's like an elevator pitch. One sentence.
What's your elevator pitch right now? I'm like,
Oh,
why should I come to your
Stacy,
barbell fitness class?
Stacy. Okay. One sentence. Let me get this together. Okay. I don't want to do a run on. If you're looking for privacy, intimacy, which is a bit weird, but if my people feel me, they'll feel me. Privacy, intimacy, um, um, a laid back atmosphere matched with a no rules environment, TFC Barbell Club is for you. I think that's one sentence. Is that one sentence? I think that's one.
I think that's what's in it. I'll give that
Okay.
to you. I'll totally give that to you. Okay, so you told us a little bit about this, but I want you to go in a little bit more detail. Who is your target market exactly? And then how did you determine this? Like what made you come to this? You talked a little bit about the powerlifting, but you want
Mm-hmm.
to further go on with that?
I got you. So if I were to kind of dig deep into the tunnel, I've been a powerlifter since I was 14 years old. My mom made me start powerlifting when I was doing track and field, so shot put and discus and javelin. And I was really, really into it. And in order for me to get a private coach, the trade-off was I'll coach her for free, but she has to lift on my AAU powerlifting team. And I didn't have a choice. My mom was like, hey, this is what we're doing. You better get prepared for it. And
Yeah.
so I started powerlifting, and I never really stopped. There were certain parts of my years where I wasn't as focused on it as I was on other components of my life, but I never stopped. And when I graduated college, I kind of dug deep back into powerlifting. And in 2017, I created the Fit Fat Coach. So that was at the time a virtual coaching fitness company that I created to really target women, to target women that wanted to lift and wanted to lift heavy. And they weren't intimidated, or I was at least trying to teach them not to be intimidated by big box gyms. And the whole philosophy of that behind the Fit Fat Coach, I'm not a small girl. I've never been a small girl. I'm never going to be a small girl. I'm never going to be a size zero. And that does not bother me. And so it was a play on words, me trying to be a little bit humorous, but also just wanting an attention grabbing name where people would read it and be like, what? That's weird. What is that? But they would be intrigued. And so the whole philosophy behind that is, you don't have to be thin. You don't have to be skinny or a size zero or a fitness model to be healthy and to be strong and to be fit. So that was the whole part of it, body positivity, basically. So I started that in 2017, and then in 2020, 2019, when I embarked on my brick and mortar, I expanded the Fit Fat Coach into the TFC Barbell Club. So that's kind of how it started. Again, a little bit impulsive, but in 2017, I was very intentional with creating the Fit Fat Coach and what I wanted that to mean for my clients and for other women. And so to answer your other question, my target audience, women 100%, and just individuals that are not afraid to lift a barbell, to lift heavy, and not have any inhibitions behind it, right? Not be scared of what the weight is going to do, not be scared of the whole I'm going to turn into a man, that silly phrase that people have.
It's not true.
It's not true. It's not true. It's not going to happen to you. But yeah, that's my target audience.
Gotcha. So as far as your barbell club goes, what are the services that you offer, and how did you decide that?
So when I was going through my services, I was really having a hard time deciding if I wanted to offer like group fitness classes in conjunction with open gym and with personal coaching. Because I've personally never been a group fitness person, but just because I'm not a group fitness person doesn't mean that other people aren't, right? But ultimately, I decided to nix the group fitness just because group fitness is everywhere. I mean, it's the most popular thing on the market right now, and obviously there's a huge profitability in group fitness, but there aren't enough gyms and there aren't enough spaces that cater to the individual that just wants to come in, do their own thing, and get out, right? There's not enough of that.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be able to offer that, right? Like some people, they don't want to be sitting in front of somebody. They don't want somebody next to them talking or instructing them to do X, Y, and Z. They have their own plan. They have their own program. They know how to use the equipment. They just want to get in with their headphones on and get out. And so ultimately, I decided to offer open gym. It's an open gym concept. So individuals can key themselves in with a PIN code, do their thing, and get in and get out. And I do also offer personal coaching, which right now is limited with COVID. But I do offer that one-on-one as it relates to just general fitness that is tailored to your specific needs or powerlifting.
So you're saying if I wanted to go to your gym at 3 a.m, could that happen?
That is something that would be possible. If that's what you wanted, if you were willing to pay for that service, I could set you up that way and we could make that happen for you. So yes.
That's pretty awesome. Okay. So the next thing, what expenses surprised you about opening your barbell club? Like what was like, yo, are you serious? Like, was there any of those, or were there a couple of those?
Yo, what didn't surprise me, man? The type of equipment that I have in my gym, this isn't like your little 500 square foot fitness studio, right? I mean, this is major, major equipment that is very specific, that is competitive, that is actually certified for a lot of the lifting that powerlifters do. So I wasn't quite surprised by the pricing of the equipment. What I was surprised by was the pricing of like the flooring and the installation of the flooring. And I don't mind talking about this because I made a Google review on it, so I don't mind talking about this. But you know, my floor cost. I have a 1,800 square foot space, and my floor was like $4,000. To install my floor, they wanted like $3,600, and so that floored me because it's like, when have you ever heard an installation almost being the same price as the actual product, right?
Right.
And I mean, I don't know if it was the company that I went through or if that's just something that's regular, but that absolutely floored me, and that had me backed into a corner where I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just do it myself, but I didn't want to do that because I wanted it to be seamless. You know, I wanted it to be perfect. And I knew that they were offering that perfection for me, but it's also like, at what cost? So that definitely surprised me. That threw me back a little bit. But it is what it is, right? In order for you to have that perfection that you want, you got to be willing to pay for it.
Awesome. Okay, cool. All right. So the next question I have for you is, what has been your biggest hurdle? Like, or your biggest mistake, or like what was just, you know what I'm talking about.
I got you. So my biggest hurdle thus far has been COVID-19, right? So
Okay.
getting the gym and the space up and running, getting it furnished, my grand opening, none of that was an issue. I didn't run into any hiccups. I ran into a bit of an art problem, but that doesn't even compare to the situation with COVID, right? So I opened my gym on March 7th. I had to close it on March 27th because of COVID, with the North Carolina mandate. So that really just kind of knocked the socks off because I wasn't really able to get up and running and establish clientele and membership the way I wanted to before I had to close. So we were closed for like 2 months. Essentially, we still are closed. And so, you know, not creating and generating that profitability and that revenue like I had planned that I would be having at least by July now. That's been a big obstacle and a big hurdle. But even as big as that has been, it's also been one that I am trying my damnedest not to stress about, because that is 100% completely out of my control, just like it is for literally millions of other small business owners. So there's light at the end of that tunnel because I know that I'm not alone in it. And you know, I am grateful for government assistance and what the state is able to give us and help us with. So it is what it is. I don't stress on it. I wish the situation was better. I wish it was different, but I can't control it. We're all in it together, and it is what it is, like I said. So, but that's been the biggest. That's absolutely been the biggest hurdle. And if I can get through this, I can get through anything. So, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. That's awesome. Okay. And I think that was really good advice for how your mindset on it. Like that's a beautiful thing, because a lot of people would be literally pulling their hair out, but you hit the nail on the head when you said it's out of your control.
Absolutely.
I think that's really powerful that you acknowledge that. And yeah, that's really cool. So we're going to go to my next question. All right. So what do you hope for your future? What's your end goal? What do you want it to
Um,
be?
my end goal is obviously expansion, right? I want to get bigger. I want it to be, I wouldn't say a household name, but you know, when you hear it, you kind of get an inkling of what people are talking about. But I want another space. I want another gym. I don't know if franchise is the word that I want to use, but I definitely want a bigger facility that still caters to the essence of open gym, like I mentioned to you, but then also caters to some type of performance training that is group class based. Because again, like I mentioned, that is something that people are really, really into. People really, really do like it. And I want to be able to cater to both niches, right? The people that don't really want to do that and the people that do, and have them essentially on separate entities of this facility, to where I can knock out two birds with one stone. So that's the goal. That's the goal. Maybe 5-year, 10-year plan. But I don't think I don't want it to be all over the United States, or maybe I do. Who knows, right? That might change. But I definitely want to grow.
All right. So when you said niche, I immediately thought like Arnold Classic, like you want like, oh, let's go to the TFC gym. Like they always have dope equipment in there, like that type of niche, or like, I don't know about you, but I've been on a YouTube tangent of like the world's strongest men, and I totally watched them go to the gym.
Do you really? I don't think I might either one, to be honest with you.
Okay, cool. It's really interesting seeing them prep and seeing them work out, because it was totally different than what I thought.
Right. No, it goes there, right? It goes there. But I would also love to be like that powerlifting hub, right? I mean, there are a couple of gyms across, not even a couple, there's thousands of gyms within the United States that are official powerlifting clubs. Like, they're on the USA powerlifting website. If you're trying to get in some serious lifting for your 3 big lifts, these are the gyms within the United States that you can go to. So I definitely want to be on that list and establish myself as one of the go-to places for that particular group of people.
Now, this is just me asking. Now, do they have like trainers on that level? Would you want to be like, someone who's known to help like train people power lift, or you're more like, no, you want to keep it personal. You want your clients, you don't really want people who are like super serious into it.
Um, I I definitely would want people that are super serious into it, because that's kind of how I cater my memberships as well, right? Like if you're not an athlete training for a particular goal, this isn't TFC Barbell Club isn't a gym where you go to work out. This is a club where you go to train. I think that there is a very big difference between the two. So if you're not serious about your craft and what you're doing and your goals, then my club is not the place for you. So I definitely want it to be serious people that I'm working with. But
Okay.
to your question, I also think a bigger part of me would like to really be behind the scenes as well from a facility standpoint. So I'm always going to have my personal coaching, the love for personal coaching. I'm always going to have that belt under me, but I wouldn't lose any sleep at night if I completely stopped doing that. So, so yeah, I'm more the director behind the films, I guess you could say.
Got you. So you still want to be the house manager and
Yeah,
still.
yeah.
Got you. But you would love to like have everybody like have some people under you who maybe are more tailored to those specific things like that.
Absolutely. Team TFC, right? Team TFC. Like no
Okay.
matter where you go, what you do, no matter what competitions you go to, no matter how big, no matter how small, I'm Team TFC. This is the club that I'm registering under. This is where I get in all my training, and just allow that word to follow out.
That's awesome. So now everybody usually has this when it's something of their craft. What is your favorite part of your barbell club? It could be a machine. It could be some type of equipment, a space. It could be your office. It could be a sign. What is your favorite part of your gym where you just look at it and you're like, yep.
My favorite part of my gym, so I have two. It would be my logo or my mural that's painted on the wall. So it's an artistic mural, and it has, let me think, it has a woman deadlifting and a man bench pressing, and then there's my logo in the middle of it. And yeah, so that's just I mean, every time I look at that, I think about how far I've come. I think about the obstacles that I've gotten over to even get to that space, to even be able to do what I've done. And it just makes me feel so incredibly proud to be standing in a facility that I can call my own, and that I did, that I started from the ground up. Like I did that. I didn't have any help. Nobody helped me do that. I did that myself. Obviously I have my support system, but that's something that was derived from my mind and my head and my vision. And that makes me feel really, really good. So I definitely love looking at that, and it cost a pretty good penny. So I'm definitely going to look at it. And then my second part would probably be my competitive combo rack. So it's basically a rack that is actually used in legit powerlifting competitions. And you can squat and you can bench press on it. And me and my wife, we use that all the time just because we know how it works. And it's just our own thing. Like we bought it for ourselves, but obviously anybody can use it, but we're a bit possessive over it.
Okay.
And it's one of our favorite pieces in the gym because it just hones into our craft and how we lift and what we do.
Got you. Got you. So if I come there, I should ask. I'd be like, y'all done?
No, 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 no. Don't ask. You can get on it. You can get on it. Just don't break the.
Hopefully. I haven't done that in the gym. I'm going to start. I have, though, thrown a medicine ball that had a hole in it above my head.
Ooh.
I have done that.
Ooh.
And
So you got all the stuff on you.
I dropped it and walked away. It's pissed.
Oh, Stacy.
It's like, ah. And it might have ended my workout. I can't remember if I left, but
Oh my gosh.
it sounded all right.
We all go through things in the gym. Don't be ashamed. It happens.
Yeah, it definitely happens. So now I want to see if you have any tips. I mean, just give it to us.
I would say if I had a couple of tips when opening up your own establishment, no matter what it is, right? Fitness, restaurant, salon, tanning booth, whatever. Try to get out of your own head and think about the perceptions of your clients, right? That's something that I would definitely go back and do if I could. I just kept thinking about it as, well, what would I want? Well, what would I do? And not really catering it to, well, what would people want? What would people do? And go off the average number of that. Especially considering that I was opening it up to people, right? It would have been different if I had the space and I wasn't allowing the public in, then I could do whatever I want. But you have to remember that, yes, you have your own preferences and you have the things that you want, but it's bigger than you, especially when you start to invite people into your space. It's bigger than you and your thought process and what you want. So that's tip number one. Tip number two, be patient. Be more patient than I was. Don't be impulsive. Have a plan. Have a vision. Write it down. Bounce it off of people. Get the devil advocates to get in your corner. Have the debates. Have the rebuttals, and ultimately come down to the best decision that you think is going to be worthwhile. Because I was definitely impulsive. Now, not to say that there's anything that I would do differently. But sometimes you really gotta sit and you gotta think before you just decide to move at the speed of light, right? So that's tip number two. And then tip number three, try to enjoy the process. Whenever you're doing anything, right? You're planning a wedding, you're opening a gym, you're starting your small business, you're doing something that you've never done before. How much stress is that, right? It is so much stress. It's so much money, it's so much time, but it's important to have fun and try to enjoy it, because 9 times out of 10, you might only get one opportunity to do it. And if that's the case, then you want to try to stop and smell the roses for sure. So those are my three big tips.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.